Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Live Out Loud podcast, hosted by me, Kyler Mentzel. This podcast is sponsored by Autumn Oak, Speech, Voice, and Hearing. Today, we have a special guest with us, my wife, Bria Mentzel.
Hi.
So, the point of this podcast is to give everybody more inside, in-depth ideas about what transpires when dealing with the cochlear implant and the steps that is taken to use it and how it can affect our personal life and our everyday activities and tasks. So today I want to talk about how mine came to be and what was seen in it. So Bria, can you please tell everybody how my injury came and what you saw within the first week of me losing my hearing?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first week, actually the first minute, I got a phone call. I was at work actually, and I worked in downtown Houston at the time. And I knew you were at practice. So I was like, why is Kyler calling me? Because he never calls me in practice. So I answered the phone and it was your coach saying that you got into an accident and please don't freak out. That you were on the way to the hospital and they don't know much, but I should probably head there.
You freaked out though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And then I got to the hospital and I have never seen anyone in the state of this before, like the mental capacity. You didn't really even know like your name. You didn't know where you were. It was very shell-shocking. So the trainer at the time was like asking you who I was. You did know that, but like you didn't know what day it was. You didn't know what month it was. It was really mind-boggling. So after we got you stitched up, the doctor stitched you up. We went and got CT scans, just made sure you didn't have any skull fractures, which that was wonderful to wait for in the waiting room. just the anticipation, just hoping you were okay.
Just for a peace of mind here, I'm just going to put this out there. My wife, with a concussion, decided to run me into the wall in a wheelchair about 2 hours after this happened.
It was an accident. I'm just not that great of a driver. And you would have thought my depth perception was off, but it was really his. But that's okay. We're still married.
Well, made a commitment.
So here we are. We had the CT scans. Everything was just kind of touch and go for a while. Then we were able to go home. We knew you had zero hearing basically in that ear, and we just had to ensure that we had testing done to see if you were a viable option for a cochlear implant. Luckily, we went to Dr. Chang's office and he tested you and said you were viable. Then he recommended Autumn Oak. And that has been the best experience for me, even just as a wife, to see you go through it with the support system that Autumn Oak has. I remember you like being so distraught on like the bathroom floor, like I'm never going to be able to hear again. Like I can't even hear my blinker signal when I turn it on in the car. So like how am I supposed to do everyday life? Autumn Oak kind of gave you that sense of normalcy, which was so nice to see. Not only did it help your hearing, but they also helped your mental capabilities as well.
Right. And I was scared that I wasn't going to play the sport ever again. I was scared that I wasn't going to be a normal person. Because at the end of the day, it is a form of PTSD for me to lose my hearing after 21, 22 years of having it my entire life. My left ear now also is damaged from it as well, and we don't know what that may hold, but if we stay positive, that's okay. And I think at the end of the day, and you saw it as well, that just because my ear is different doesn't mean that an everyday task can't be accomplished the same way as every other people.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So, do you want to elaborate on the approach that Dr. Settarelli and Autumn Oak and her team take the approach on cochlears, hearing aids, every kind of thing like that, how they approach it, not just from the actual side of it, but like you said, the mental side of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So most people hate going to the doctor's office. I absolutely dread going with him to any appointment. And with a cochlear, there's a lot of appointments. But I actually like look forward to coming to Autumn Oak, believe it or not, just because I know they care about like you as a person, not just herding cattle, like coming in, coming out. they care about you as a person. So as soon as we got there, we were nicely greeted, and Dr. Settarelli treats you like you've known her forever. So it's so nice to feel that like sense of family almost.
They also got cookies at the front door. That's exciting.
They do have cookies at the front door.
That's exciting. That's always exciting.
And then, so you just went for testing, and I'm, of course, like a nervous wreck. And she's like, look, I've done this so many times. So, like, I have you, we have you. And I was like, okay, like, if you have us, and I fully trust in you, especially just because of that aura she gives off and the Autumn Oak community gives off. You just feel so, you want to trust them.
It's like, it's a family. It is, like, from the first time, it was like a family for me. Like, I really felt, like, at home and comfortable because, like, obviously, you've seen, I cannot stand going to doctors. I can't stand it. I'm terrified. I get anxiety. I can't stop moving. My blood pressure goes straight up. Like, you've seen it all. Here, I'm chilling. I'm fine. I'm loving it here. It's like my home away from home in that sort of form. So, do you want to tell the folks about how a cochlear implant can really affect someone's mental state, especially when other people are really not looking at it like a normal person?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, obviously you play a team sport and y'all are 20-year-old boys and men, I should say. And that could be hard. Even everyday tasks can be hard. Like hearing horns in a parking lot is just completely different. Hearing sirens go down the road is completely different. So being able to like see you overcome that and just like the mental capability of that, for me, it's really empowering. So really just, I'm shocked and super happy that you're okay. I think without Autumn Oak, that there would have been no way that you would be here today and be the person you are today, just of like your mental capacity and your mental strength.
They also grew my faith as well a little bit more, like, and I'm very strong in my faith and stuff like that. And I think it was really, really cool to see how Dr. Settarelli was able to reference my faith in terms of my hearing as well and kind of tie those two together, because that really gave me ultimate clarification on it's God's plan and there's something good that's going to come out of this. And that's truly what I believed. And now I'm the best I've been in months about it. And I can't remember a time I didn't have a cochlear now, because I just feel so normal with it now. And I feel like this is who I am. This is who I need to be. And I think you've seen that also as well, as like when you get more comfortable with it and you understand it's not something that changes you. It's something that really makes you different, but makes you different in a good way. We don't want to be the same person as everybody else. And that's something, is people can sit there and say, oh, well, you have great. I love it. Because I get to show people that just because I have a cochlear implant doesn't mean I'm different from them. I can do stuff just as good, if not better. And so can everybody else out there. So where do you think the shift in my motivation from my injury came from? Because for a while there, I was down. Like I said, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was lost. So where do you think that shift in motivation and that idea to normalcy came from?
I think it was multiple things. I think one is it's really God's plan. Like, you're going to go through mountains and valleys, and like you're going to go through those hard experiences, but it obviously makes you who you are today. So I think your motivation within God has helped a tremendous amount. And if it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be possible. Like, sitting here today would not be possible if it wasn't for the man upstairs. And I also think it was the Autumn Oak as well. I do think it was Autumn Oak, because they were able just to steer your focus a little bit into a different focal point. So your focal point when you were down was, how is this going to get better? How am I supposed to be normal? What is everyone going to think of me? And Autumn Oak as a whole reminded you that like this happens. Like, you're meant to be on this path. Your path was already written in stone by God. So I really think Dr. Settarelli was a big point in that, just because of her her focus on your journey and you as a person, not just your hearing. So I think there were multiple things that really switched your motivation, and it happened to be her and God himself upstairs.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that a lot, actually. It's very easy to lose sight of, the task at hand, the goal at hand. And, for those first couple months, it was very, like you said, touch and go, didn't really know what we were kind of steering into. And so I think that was a big reason of why I am where I am now, and why I get to use a platform to show people that it's okay, everything's okay, everything works out the way it needs to work out. And that's what I think it's a very important thing to do. So ultimately, the goal of this is to obviously inspire the youth, the younger generation of CI patients and kids with hearing aids, to show them that, it's a process, it's a long process, it's not an easy road. But if you put the work in and you're determined and all your people around you, you surround yourself with everybody right, it's a very normal thing, and it's a very inspiring way, because you look back on it years from now, and I get to tell this story of, yeah, I got hit in the head, I lost my hearing, but it defined me. It made me into a better person. It makes us into stronger people in the CI community. It does. It makes us stronger. It makes us more determined. It makes us more motivated. And I truly believe that. So if we take that approach as CI people, it's the floor or the ceiling's just unimaginable. You can go as high as you want.
That's interesting. Do you think you would be here without Automoke today? Like, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. Actually, the opposite. I think I honestly would have probably been done with the sport of baseball, and I think I would have been lost. It's about as simple as that. The team around me was as important as my hearing itself. They were the reason that I've moved so quickly in this, because they showed me the confidence and the way to walk with this, to not let the situation define you. Let you define the situation. I think that is the ultimate way I looked at it once Automoke showed me the way to look at it, and that's what I'm forever grateful for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm forever indebted to them as well, just for changing your outlook and changing just who you are today. Like, they had a big role in that. Yeah,
if I sat here and said that I'm the same person I was beforehand, I would be lying. I evolved and I grew as a person through the past 7 months, and became someone way more imaginable than I could have ever been. Someone more motivated, more influential, more focused on the right things at hand and the right task, and having just all these things come together just because of an injury. It's amazing. And it's just to show how God works and how Automoke works and treats their patients, and it's amazing to see that. So that's why I'm forever grateful for them.
Yeah, absolutely. You had your appointment yesterday in October.
We got it turned up again. So we're getting there.
Different sounds. You did take a test yesterday. Do you remember how many human words you got right?
Yeah. So I scored a 46%. I know for you all school people out there, that's terrible. But actually in the cochlear world, that is good for my first couple months out. I'm way ahead than I should be. And it's because the determination, the work that Dr. Settarelli and Automoke has been putting into me day in, day out, week in, week out, everything. And also God has been there for it every single time. So I think that it was amazing to see that I was able to identify a good amount of words. I remember one, it was like, the golf ball went in the hole, and I got it like that. And I looked at the doctor. I said, I think I got that right so fast because I know what golf is. Because it's kind of interesting to see that like the words that you knew beforehand or something that you're really close to, it kind of relates and it kind of jumps at you a lot easier than other words would. And that's kind of what I saw within the first week of me having it on is like I could identify some songs that I love. But other songs that I like but I haven't heard in a while, I couldn't identify. Or stuff that I couldn't relate to or something like that, I couldn't identify really well. So I thought that was really interesting of how that worked.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, people always say like, "Oh, it's a scary surgery." It's a head surgery, okay. And you know, I woke up with a massive headache.
Oh, I remember.
But that's okay. Most people get dizzy. If you didn't know that, they get dizzy and it's hard to walk, hard to do a lot of stuff for the first couple weeks. Within the first day, I'm sitting there trying to balance a water bag on my shoulders, trying to pitch for what I don't know, but it's because I just felt like doing it. So I was very blessed in the way that I got to recover from my surgery as well. And you know, that's something that Chang and his team did a great job of is instilling my CI and making sure that it was good. So
yeah, absolutely. Do you want to talk about like the nerves before surgery?
Yeah. So obviously them telling you that you have to have a head surgery is not the greatest thing you want to hear. It's very nerve-wracking. For those who don't know, I have severe anxiety that I deal with, and so in terms of surgery, I've had about 3 or 4 in my lifetime. All of them, I've been poked about 10 times probably because I get, what is that called? That deal that I get where my,
oh, your veins freeze.
Yeah, my veins freeze up before surgery because I get so scared. So, you know, I'm getting poked like 5 or 6 times or whatever. Finally get it done. And, you know, that hour and a half, 2-hour period of me sitting there in the back waiting for my surgery, I was filled with nerves, terrified, didn't know how I was going to wake up, didn't know if I was going to wake up being the same person again. I mean, it's something that's tremendously impactful. So going through that, I just had to keep reminding myself, like, you have a good team by your side. You have good people by your side, and you have someone always watching over you. And I think that kind of eased my nerves into the surgery, which kind of carried over. And you saw what happened after surgery. You saw how I was after surgery. I wasn't feeling the greatest because of my head, but other than that, I think I was in pretty good spirits still though from it.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's kind of what I influence the others to do is don't look at the bad of the situation, look at the positive. Something positive is going to come out of your situation. And that's kind of what I want to get my point across to is like, everything's going to be positive. Everything's going to be okay. And people just need to trust the process.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very well said. Do you remember practicing? Like, I was able to like turn you around. You would plug your other ear and turn you around so you couldn't read my lips and like I would just say random words. Like, what did that sound like at first? I know you mentioned like chipmunks. That my voice sounded like chipmunks before.
Well, that's a different part of it. The first time I was hearing like robot sounds, you know, and trying to like make out the words of it and stuff. And that was a difficult process. It was fun though. It was fun. It was like putting what's that deal that you do where you write Wordle or word cross or something like that, whatever that is. Yeah. So it was like that. That was fun. But obviously it gets frustrating from time to time, because you're still trying to figure out the words. It's not the same at the beginning, so it's kind of fun, but it's also kind of nerve-wracking. And then as I progressed and went on, I noticed, being in my car, listening to regular music, and I got regular music coming out of one ear, and I got the chipmunks singing in the other ear, which is kind of funny to see, because you're like, oh, okay, this little orchestrated event going on in my head right now, but it was pretty interesting to see, and I'm still, dealing with the little chipmunk sounds from here to there. But it's kind of fun, and I like it. So
yeah, I think it's like how you perceive it. Like it's your outlook, and like you're like, I know this is going to get better eventually, so why not continue to try to practice? And even when you don't want to, you're still have really good spirits about it, which I think has tremendously helped you where you are today. And again, get 46% of words right. So that's really cool. But but it was hard. Like, it's not
easy.
Yeah, we made it like a game.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, guess that word.
Yeah, and you know, that's a great you brought that up, actually, because like, if you turn it into something fun, it doesn't become a job. It doesn't become, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to learn to listen again. It becomes fun. You're out here playing a guessing game just for fun, and it's amazing what that can do when you're in good spirits, because I've seen the way that I've looked at it in bad spirits, and I've seen the way that I've looked at it in good spirits. And when I was looking at it through bad spirits and trying to listen and stuff, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You're telling yourself, this is never going to work. You're telling yourself, I can't do this. But on the other hand, if you flip that and you say, I can do this, I'm excited to do this, I'm excited to grow, I'm excited to learn, I'm excited to be better than I was before, it makes everything so much more easier. And that's what I saw.
I think the catalyst of that particularly was Autumn Oak. Like, that switched your motivation into that, from what I've seen, like,
absolutely,
as my perspective, as like, Autumn Oak helped you understand, like, if you treat it like a game, it's not work, and then you'll be able to have fun and you'll enjoy doing it and you'll enjoy learning it. Like, guess the song game, where we come out like dancing and you're like, hold on, let me try to figure out the song. And so
yeah, obviously you saw that I like to dance and stuff, so I'll dance to the music and stuff. But so we're coming up on the end of this. So do you have anything else you'd like to say, kind of maybe a motivation or anything to the people that are listening out there, kind of give them any other motivation, anything like that, that'll help them in their journey through getting a cochlear or having anything like that?
Yeah, trust in the plan. Trust in the plan. Your doctors around you, especially Autumn Oak, was a tremendous help. The man upstairs, you wouldn't be here without him today. So really just trust in the plan and fully lean into that.
Yeah. So like I said, this was my first on this, and I am very excited to continue this journey to inspire others and grow the cochlear community as a whole, and shed the light on all these people who need help and need any sort of influence, motivation, and learn that their voice is heard and their voice is something that nobody can take away. Just because we have these CIs doesn't mean we're different than others. It makes us way stronger than others. It makes us more determined. It teaches us life lessons. So for those out there who have it, I say embrace it, grow with it, and nothing's impossible to do it. Thank you for tuning in to Live Out Loud, sponsored by Autumn Oak Speech, Voice, and Hearing. As always, my name is Kyler Mentzel. Trust God and live out loud. See you next time.